Hi everyone, it is Ashton, aka the Outspoken Oracle, and I am back with another tarot reading for you. For all intents and purposes, tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. Please just think of me as your bestie who's giving you some advice. As with your best friend, you only take some advice, you leave the other. Please only take what resonates with you. You are responsible for the decisions in your own life. I do want to let you know that I am running a giveaway. I will be picking somebody from the comment section at the beginning of next month from this month. All you need to do is be subscribed and comment on my videos, and I will pick somebody to be entered in for a 1-hour tarot reading session with me, which is valued at $120. Okay, so there's two messages that are coming through for this reading that I'm about to do. So I was awake, not ready to get out of bed because it was like barely even 6 a.m. And I was watching something and they were talking about people pleasing, and then my fire alarm went off. And lately I have noticed that when the fire alarm goes off, that there is a message there for me. So I've taken extra caution and notice to pay attention to when I hear the fire alarm go off, because there's usually a message there for me. So they were talking about people pleasing. I'm like, okay. Well, on top of that, I was like, I know I'm supposed to be making a video, God. Like, I don't know what this video is supposed to be about. And then, like, within 2 minutes, that's when the fire alarm went off when I was listening to this video and they were talking about people pleasing. That also being said, yesterday I was doing a tarot reading for one of my clients, and in the reading, the song Anti-Hero from Taylor Swift came through. And usually when I'm channeling a song, when I'm doing a reading, that song will go away. However, after I got that message about people pleasing, then this song came back through my mind, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is not just for her. This is another thing that I need to talk about too. I will tell you straight up, I am not a Taylor Swift fan. And before you at me about not being a Taylor Swift fan, I respect her. I'm just not a fan. And I realized that I used to despise her. I'm not going to lie. I used to despise her. But I realized now the reason why I didn't like her is because her light irritated my darkness. And through her, I was able to see how people see me when my light irritates their darkness. And so, like, I have a great gratitude for her at this point. But I'm still not a fan just because it's not my type of music. And, you know, we all have our own music taste, and she's just not mine. And so that's that. But I do respect her. I still am not going to listen to her album. But for those of you guys that love Taylor Swift right now, after her album just came out, and you guys have a whole 31 songs to learn, I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. I wish my favorite artist would come out with an album with that many songs. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it, because music is the great connector, I believe. Anyhow, so with the lyrics for Anti-Hero that were coming through to me, it is, did you hear my covert narcissism? I disguise as altruism, like some kind of congressman. I wake up screaming from dreaming. One day I'll watch as you're leaving, and life will lose all its meaning. It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. And then I had to look up what covert narcissism was. I already know kind of what it is, but like just to get a better understanding of what covert narcissism was. And there's two things that I want to read. It says people with covert narcissism are self-conscious, socially insecure, and introverted, which means their narcissistic actions are usually more subtle. A covert narcissist is someone who has narcissistic personality disorder but hides the more obvious signs. They may be introverted, reserved, and passive-aggressive, while overt narcissists are grandiose, attention-seeking, and boastful. Covert narcissists may crave admiration and importance but lack empathy towards others. So this reading that I'm doing is going to be either for somebody who is a covert narcissist, somebody who has also a covert narcissist that also happens to have people-pleasing tendencies because they want that admiration from others. Or it's you're watching this for somebody who is a covert narcissist, or like there's somebody that comes to the top of your brain when I'm going to do this reading. But it's like what I'm picking up on is that the person who this reading is for, the person who this reading is going to be about, it's like they are thawing to the idea that they have been the problem their whole life. It's like they are waking up to a realization that, wait a second, I've been blaming everybody else in my life for my problems, and actually it's me. And they're starting to see the signs of the things that are wrong with them, with their narcissism, and the way that they act towards the ways they interact with people, and the ways how they love attention, and yet they try to act like they're all kind and nice when it's like, no, you're not really. Like, the way that you behave is a manipulation. The way that you behave is because you want people to think a certain way about you, but you're actually a narcissist. And, narcissists aren't created in a vacuum. A lot of time people that are narcissists are created because they have parents that have some sort of personality disorder as well. So if this is about you, or this is about something that you know, then they probably have a parent with a personality disorder. The parent may not know, but they might have some signs. But it's also very much giving me like that they're just kind of tired of themselves and where their life is leading them, generally speaking. They're finally starting to take a mirror to themselves and to their lives and recognize that they are the problem, which honestly, we will always praise and be excited about self-accountability. So around these parts, I'm going to say kudos. We're excited for you. We're proud of you. But let's get into this reading. All right. Spirit, what message do you have for my collective in regards to this song Anti-Hero, and about that message about people pleasing that I had come through? Actually, wait, hold on. I didn't say my little thing. All right, angels, guides, ancestors, please assist me with this reading. Please help to give me insight into the questions I seek answers to, protecting from any negative entities that might try to interfere on this reading, give me false information. And as always, thank you. Wait, hold on. Giving me insight of the highest good for everyone involved. And as always, thank you for showing up each and every day. Love you lots. All right, now let's ask the question. All right. Spirit, what is the message you have for my collective in regards to the song Anti-Hero, along with this message of people-pleasing that I have coming in? What is the message you have for my collective, Spirit? What is the message you have for my collective, Spirit, in regards to this? What is the message you have for my collective in regards to this? Okay, yeah, this card pop out. Ooh, somebody's going through an ego death. Somebody's really, like, at a place of transforming. We love that for you. Love that for you. I love to see when people start changing because they have some realizations about themselves. Ugh, that makes me so happy. All right, yeah, no, devil. They see the ways in which, you know what, this light's not working for me. I don't like it. It's going to be a little bit dark on here, but at least you guys can see the artwork a little bit better. I'd prefer this be the case than that light blaring. So yeah, so we have ego death here. Somebody is going through an ego death because they're starting to see exactly the ways in which they are toxic in their life, and they want to change because they don't want to continue through their life being the same person. They're recognizing that they, like, so here's the thing. A narcissist doesn't actually realize they're a narcissist until they get diagnosed with it, right? And especially if you're a covert narcissist, not only are you hiding your narcissism from other people, but you're also hiding it from yourself. So they probably didn't realize this, and now they're starting to realize it, and they are changing. This person is changing, and they are really starting to realize the ways in which, like, their own narcissism has held them back from their own happiness in their life, has held them back from their life's abundance, and they recognize that they have been the toxic one in their life all along. Yeah, they're changing. They're getting a new perspective about everything that they are with this hangman here. Between this death and this hangman, it's very much this perspective shift is causing them to change. It is causing them to evolve. It is causing them to want to get out of their old patterns of behavior. And with this devil here, they are recognizing how toxic they are. Straight up toxic. Like, this devil's something else. It's beautiful. This artwork is beautiful. These nails. This artwork is beautiful, but at the same time, like, there's a lot going on there. It's like this devil was playing so many games. Like, it's got, like, so much going on around it. Like, but it's like, oh, I painted this beautiful picture, but at the same time, it's like this beautiful picture is also like hypnotizing people into thinking that things are what they're not. I don't know. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. The Eight of Swords here. They've been, whoever this person is, it's like, I'm getting this feeling that like they've been so caught up in this prison of their own mind. But like there's been something else there that's been causing, there's been something else there that's also aided the toxicity, the narcissism within them that has, it's like, it was somebody else there that was puffing them up to be this narcissist. Like I said, there's always, like usually if somebody's a narcissist, there is also a parent there that has some sort of personality disorder. And they're recognizing the thing that has aided into their toxicity in their life a little bit better. It's like something happened where the blindfold came off to the reality of their situation. Like it's not a quick change. It's not an overnight change that this sort of information comes to light for a person. Lust in reverse, but this is actually like the Strength card. They're recognizing this person prides themselves on being very strong-willed, right? They pride themselves on being very, very strong-willed. However, with this person that has played interference and caused them to become this narcissist, they're recognizing that whoever this person is their weakness. It's like they cannot say no to this person. This person guilts them. This person puts them in a place that makes them return back to this toxicity in their life. And this is where this interference is coming from. I'm having a hard time right now with being very clear with my thoughts. And usually when I'm reading, I'm good at like picking up on the messages, but it's like this person has confused them about who they are and how they represent themselves to the world. It's like they're confused and lost about who they are in general because this person, right? I don't know, like my words are not coming out good today. Like, and I'm picking up on a massive bit of confusion from this person. It's like this person is realizing, wait a second, I don't even know who I really am. And like, yeah, they're seeing that they're a covert narcissist a little bit. But it's like this person that has influenced this person in their life. This is where the people pleasing comes in. Not only do they people please other people outside of this person, but the people pleasing started with this person because their weakness was this person. And so, and people pleasers happen. They are created at a young age. So I'm assuming that this was like an influential adult in this person's life that they were pleasing, that's made them a people pleaser in other aspects of their life, but it was mainly this person that they were pleasing. So it's like all the things that they've done in their life was to please this person. And anybody else that they have tried to please as a result of trying to please this person, also it reverts back to this person. Like how I'm going about my life in general is based off of what this person's thoughts of me are. And then from there, they're like, well, how can I manipulate the world around me to fit what it is that I need? But now they're recognizing the ways in which, with this 10 of Wands in reverse, they're recognizing the ways in which that their people pleasing and the influence this person had over them was more burdensome to them than it should have been. And they're recognizing that these burdens were not mine, but these burdens also caused me to be a certain way. They are taking accountability for their behaviors, for their actions, for the ways that they've been, but they're also at the same time wanting to put down the burdens of this person who they are weak for. They're weak for the opinion of and all this other stuff. They're putting down these burdens because they're not theirs, and they realize these burdens have been holding them back. 5 of Wands. It's been causing them nothing but pain and sorrow, it has been the conflict that has been the precipice of their life, their entire life. It has been the conflict that has turned this into this narcissist, this covert narcissist. Um, I know a lot of people don't have empathy for people that are narcissists. I have a lot of empathy for everybody. And I have noticed that because of how empathetic I am, that I tend to be a magnet for covert narcissists. And also, side note, I'm ADHD and I'm autistic, but I didn't even find out that I was autistic until like last year, and when I was 36 years old. So like that's always fun. But like autistic people, especially when they're high masking autistic, even when they're not high masking, but like they tend to be magnets for narcissists. But they're, where was I going with this? There goes ADHD. Again, this interference. But they're recognizing that there has been all this strife in their life that's been caused by this person. They're recognizing that all this confusion, all this infighting, like they have been battling their own mind their entire life, but they're battling their own mind has been because of all of this. But they're recognizing how their behaviors have harmed people outside of them as well. Wow, y'all, I am so sorry. My thoughts are just all sorts of confused. Like, and I feel like this is the energy of whoever this person is for. It's like they are in their head, but they're just so confused, and it's like trying to find your way out of a paper bag. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying at this time. Like, yeah, my message is not coming through clearly, but at the same time, I'm hoping that like the energy is communicating what it is that I'm trying to say, I suppose. Their desire to not have conflict in their life with this person who they are weak to the wills and the ways of this person. Their desire to not have conflict has made them not only not give to themselves, but also not give to other people, which in turn has led them to this life where they are not happy, where they are being toxic, and they are finally recognizing all of this and seeing the big picture and wanting to change. They are alchemizing with the Six of Swords here. They are alchemizing all this negativity in their life, all these past behaviors into something different. I'm feeling like this person is going through a change. The Six of Swords says science, and I'm picking up on like a very metamorphosis sort of energy. Like they are in the cocoon state of a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. There's a lot that goes on in the cocoon of a caterpillar before they emerge this beautiful flying butterfly that can be free and that can see the world from a completely different perspective. Because they're tired. They're exhausted of this old life of theirs because it's been nothing but pain and strife for them. They haven't been successful in their behavior, but they're recognizing that they were carrying burdens that were never theirs to have to begin with. And so they're alchemizing all this energy, all this confusion, and all their bad behavior, honestly, but they didn't realize they were being bad. And so I feel bad for them. That's where I was going. Yeah, I have a lot of empathy for we're back to that story. I have a lot of empathy for narcissists because narcissists, they don't create themselves. Nobody with any sort of personality disorder creates themselves, right? And so people want to sit here and judge a narcissist and be like, well, they're this way, they're that way. But it's like, you have to look at the whole picture and hold space for them to be able to change. But a person can't change until they start to realize what is wrong with them. And a lot of people are like, well, my ex was a narcissist, this, that, whatever. The minute you recognize that you are with somebody that's a narcissist, if you don't see them changing, you need to go. And the thing of it is that even if you do see them changing, you still need to go because sometimes they need to feel that loss of you in order for them to change. And the song, she says, one day I'll watch as you're leaving and life will lose its meaning. And it's like, This narcissist, sometimes if they're going to lose you, life will lose its meaning, and then it'll force them to take a mirror to themselves and start that change. So if you're recognizing that you're with a narcissist, leave them and see what happens. If they come back to you, then they're meant to be. If they come back to you, a changed person, a change, like whatever, they're meant to be yours. Otherwise, like, just let them go. But have empathy for the fact that they did not choose to be a narcissist. Nobody chooses to have a personality disorder. It's not a choice. These personality disorders are not created in a vacuum. But it's like this person is going through this alchemical process right now and changing into something different, something new. It's like they lost somebody and it's forcing them, because their life is not as good as it once was. And so now they're realizing that I have to change my ways. I have to be a different person in order for me to have a life worth meaning, a life worth living, a life worth living. There's an alchemical process that's going on throughout them right now. And it's like they've been taking a lot of time to themselves to do a lot of evaluating, a lot of meditating, a lot of just like taking a step back from all the influences in their life so that they can have a clear picture of things. And they have gotten a lot more new insight into what is going on with them. And they're finally feeling like they can step out. Like I said, this is like an alchemical process of them changing into a butterfly. This hermit mode is very much the same as somebody being in their cocoon. They've been in hermit mode for a while, and now they're finally starting to slowly but surely break out of their cocoon. Because they have some insight. They are changed on the inside. They have a little bit more knowledge to go off of in terms of what has caused them to be this way and what needs to be let out of their life. Queen of Swords in reverse. That's who it is. That's the person. That's who this person was their weakness. The Queen of Swords in reverse. It's very much a mother energy. And people in society love to revere mothers, and they should be revered, right? But at the same time, you can revere mothers and also recognize the amount of damage that mothers cause to people, or primary caretakers. It doesn't even have to just be a mother, but a motherly figure, a primary caretaker. They do so much damage to people. It is insane. Because a lot of times that's where people seek out their validation from, is from their primary caretaker or their mother. And this Queen of Swords was very harsh with her words. She was not kind. And it's like this person was constantly chasing love from this Queen of Swords reverse, their mother, because I am very much picking up on a motherly figure, a mother or motherly figure, primary caretaker. And they were chasing after and searching after this love from their primary caretaker. And they now are realizing that that's where all their problems started. This is where their weakness started. This is where all the interference on their head was at, is because all these thoughts about themselves had been swirling around their brain because they weren't treated kindly. This person didn't treat them kindly, and yet they were constantly seeking validation from this Queen of Swords reverse, their mother. And so they started to become a people pleaser. They started to do things to get the approval. And they're like, well, if I act this way, then maybe my mom's going to be nicer to me, or this way and this way, then maybe my mom's going to be nicer to me. But it's like, then what happened with this Eight of Swords, this interference, is that their mind, their brain has always been at odds about who am I really and who is it that this person wants me to be. I want to feel safe. If I want to feel safe in this household that I'm growing up in, then I need to do what this Queen of Swords in reverse wants me to do for me to feel safe, for me to feel loved. And so they changed themselves to please this person. This person actually, in any other aspect of their life, is very strong-willed. They are very strong-willed, except for with this Queen of Swords in reverse. This person is their weakness. And I feel like part of the reason why they're so strong-willed in every other aspect of their life is because they don't like that this person has made them weak, and not in a good way. And so they're like, I can do this, that, and whatever, and have all this strong will and have all this willpower and all these other ways in my life, because then I don't have to pay attention to the fact that actually this person has created a very weak person. They are recognizing how weak-willed they are because they don't even know themselves, because they don't do things for themselves, because they do everything to please other people, because it started with this person. They were for so long unwilling to admit this to themselves because being honest with themselves was not something that was easy to come by. They're finally looking in the mirror. I stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. And the thing of it is that people really like them. People really like them because they're a covert narcissist. And so people can't see it. And here's the thing about narcissists is that narcissists people tend to like unless you were close to them, and then you start seeing the narcissism. And it's like they're starting to look at themselves from the outside and they're like, wow, all these people really like me, but they have no clue who I am. It must be exhausting always rooting for the anti-hero. They know that it's them that's the problem. But the thing of it is that yes, did they have this Queen of Swords mother figure and the Queen of Swords reverse mother figure in their life that was their weakness? Absolutely. But at the same time, they are recognizing that it's their fault that they allow for this to happen. Even if they were a child, there is a certain level of self-abandonment that happens at a young age that allows for you not to be yourself, that turns you into a people pleaser, that turned this person into a covert narcissist. But the thing that happened was, and it didn't feel like a blessing at the time, it felt like something that was painful, something that was not ideal, the timing was wrong, was that they got this 9 of Cups. There was something that happened in their life that gave them a taste of bliss, of something really good that they could have. And because the lyrics are saying, one day I'll watch as you're leaving and life will lose all its meaning. I'm assuming that it was a person that showed up, that showed them their wish fulfillment. It showed them their, like, what they were praying for. But this person showed up, and this person is what made them finally start taking a mirror to themselves, which didn't really work for them. Because when they had a mirror to themselves and they were supposed to start working on themselves, they didn't want to work on themselves with this 8 of Disc reverse. It's like, I don't want to put in the work because I have concocted this entire personality my entire life. Now you're expecting for me to change at this point in my life? I have spent so much time creating this personality. And now you're telling me that this is not actually who I am? And so they're having to dive deep and figure out, who am I really? Who have I been hiding from my entire life? Who have I been covering up for this person who's my weakness? And I know I've been letting the devil side of me out. They were having to consider that they needed to change, that they needed to put work in on themselves, because they got a taste of bliss, but it didn't last long. This taste of bliss left out their life, but because they tasted it, they can't get rid of that taste out of their mouth. It's stuck there, and it tastes so good to them. But they didn't want to put in the work. Putting in the work seemed like too much work because they spent too much time concocting this personality that worked for them, but it really wasn't working for them because they weren't actually happy. But now they're going through this ego death. They're changing, they're transforming into something different because they have a whole different perspective on life, on the people around them, on themselves. They finally have taken a mirror to themselves and they're like, oh my God, this is who I am. This is who I really am. And I don't like the person that I am. I'm not a good person. I have this devilish side that people don't see because they see me as this kind, altruistic individual, when in actuality, like, I'm not a nice person. I'm not a good person. People feel sorry for me because of things that have happened in my life. But in actuality, I've actually been the one that's hurting people. This person has been fighting the hard work because they have always felt like they were the one in the right and that they didn't need to change. And now with this 9 of Cups coming in, them having their wish fulfillment, they can't have their wishes granted. They can't have their bliss. They can't have any of this unless they surrender to the idea that maybe, just maybe, I need to put in some work on myself. Maybe, just maybe, I've been wrong about who I thought I was my entire life. Maybe, just maybe, I've been wrong about the person that my mother is, and I need to change. I need to change who I am if I'm going to actually live a happy life of bliss with my wish fulfillment. What has worked for them is that, with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, is that they hadn't been pushed for a very long time to change. It was very easy for them to go about their life the way that it was. The sun came out in reverse, to go about their life the way it was, to go about their life in the darkness and the shade on a cloudy day. It's like, life is good enough as it is. It's not time for me to change. Like, God's not stepping in. Like, they were okay because life was good enough, right? But now things are changing. Good enough is no longer good enough for them because they had this little taste of bliss, this little taste of wish fulfillment that came through, and they're recognizing that they need to change, and they need to change for themselves. They can no longer let this Queen of Swords reverse be in charge of them, because this person was creating interference in their life in so many ways, and they are starting to see the ways in which this Queen of Swords in reverse has had their grubby little hands in every little aspect of their life. And that they were never able to think clearly because of the grubby little hands of this Queen of Swords in reverse being in their life. It's like they were like a puppeteer, like just like, you know, leading their life in a certain way. And they didn't have to deal with any of this before. Then suddenly this Nine of Cups, this bliss walks in, and they're like, I need to figure out my life because what was good enough here is not good enough anymore. It was something that was working for them that's not working for them anymore. Because they recognize now with this Queen of Cups in reverse that in order for them to get what they want, in order for them to truly be happy, they need to stop hiding their emotions. They need to be more vulnerable. This realization of needing to be more vulnerable is helpful for their transformation. This Nine of Cups showed them a level of vulnerability that they'd never experienced before. And I think that this level of vulnerability opened their eyes to their own lack of vulnerability. And that was a very slow process, but a process that allowed for them to start shifting and changing into something new. This is what got the ball rolling. And although the momentum was building very slowly, there was still momentum building. And they are in a place of momentum, and that's why they're having this transformation happen, because they have had a completely new perspective shift. They see their own toxicity. They see the interference that this Queen of Swords in reverse has been causing in their life. They know exactly who they are. They don't like it. And so, they know exactly who they have created themselves to be. They don't like it, and now they're transforming back into the butterfly version of themselves. They're transforming into the real version of themselves, who is not a covert narcissist, who is not a people pleaser, because they recognize the ways in which their lack of vulnerability. And I'm going to say this straight up. They weren't being vulnerable because of the fact that they were hurt by this person here. That's why they weren't being vulnerable. They didn't want to be hurt again, because it was a lot of work for them to keep up appearances, for them to keep the love from this one person. And so they decided to not be vulnerable in general in life, because without being vulnerable, they can't be hurt again, because the person who was supposed to love them most caused them hurt, caused them pain. And they had to defend themselves against that all throughout their life. Again, these narcissists are not created in a vacuum. there is a serious mother wound that a lot of people are facing. And I don't care if this reading is about you or about somebody else and you're just watching it. You might need to consider the ways in which you have felt pain from your mother, the ways in which you might have a mother wound, and work on healing that. Because the mother wound is very real. You might have the sweetest mother in the world, but there still might be some damage that's there. And the damage that's there might be just a sense of you needing to be perfect. Think about that. With this 9 of Discs in reverse, their feeling of lack is what really is pushing them towards this change. Like I said, they got a taste of this 9 of Cups. They got a taste of bliss. They got a taste of wish fulfillment. And that taste went away. That taste of the good life went away. And now they're feeling a lack. And this lack is what is causing them to change. One day I'll watch as you're leaving, and life will lose all its meaning. This 9 of Discs in reverse, life has lost its meaning. And so it caused for them to change. It caused for them to transform into a new person. And so now they're taking this leap of faith into this new stage of their life because they recognize how foolish they have been in the past. This I love. This Fool mixed with this Death card, they are growing by leaps and bounds. They are ready for a new start in their life. They're ready for this new adventure of life because they recognize what they can have if they stop caring about what other people think. That's one thing that they've been afraid of their whole life, is what other people think. And so they've been afraid of looking foolish when actually they've been playing the fool to themselves the entire time. And now they're ready to take a leap of faith into the future, to be a fool that trusts themselves, that trusts their own heart, because they don't want to live their life without love. This 9 of Cups was their bliss. This was their love. This was their wish fulfillment. And they're recognizing if they continue down this path, they aren't going to have love. They don't want that. They want this love. And so they're willing to do what it takes to take this leap of faith so that this love can come back to them. Because this person, this 9 of Cups, is gone. And they feel like this huge sense of lack in their life. And they want this love back. And so they're doing the work. They're transforming because they've had this perspective shift about who they have been and who they don't want to be any longer. And exactly who was pulling the strings to turn them into this person. There's a lot that has happened with this person for them to get to this point. So if this is somebody in your life, please have patience and compassion for them, because this is not something that's very easy to go through. Not that this is something that is happening in my life, but if it were happening in my life, I would have a lot of patience for this person. And that's saying a lot coming from me because I'm not a very patient person. I want instant gratification all the time, but I'm learning to be more patient. But like, you need to have patience for a person, because for a person to change their dynamic with their mother, it's very difficult. You know, I had to work on changing my dynamic with my mom. And my mom is a great mom. I'm not going to say that she's not. She's a great mom, but there were things that needed to change. And over this past year, our relationship dynamic has changed a lot. And it took work for the dynamic to change, but it took me stepping out into my own person, my own being, and fully just being like, this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be. You know how I said earlier, like how I was diagnosed with autism last year. I honestly think that was like the biggest revelation about how I need to change and how I've been masking my whole life, and realizing, oh, this is why I interacted with people in the world in a certain way, is because of my autism. And that actually helped with this like ball rolling. So that was helpful, but it takes patience, right? Be patient with this person. I'm going to pull some botanical inspiration cards just as like, because I feel like this person's going through a lot and they might need your prayers right now. So I'm going to pull some botanical inspirations just to give you something to pray for this person about, because it seems like they're going through a lot. Like they need all the help they can get. Even if you're not talking to this person, like just pray for them. Spirit, what prayers should you have for this person that this reading was about, so that they can have a little bit of angelic help in their life, a little bit of spiritual help in their life. clematis, intelligence and mental beauty. Wisdom is the abstract of the past, but beauty is the promise of the future. Saying Gloxinia, love at first sight and proud spirit. When I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you know. Okay, so what I'm getting that you need to pray for this person is that they continue to follow their insights, to follow the things that they know, that they continue to trust what it is that they are learning and not backslide. That they're going to trust that their life will become more beautiful if they just trust the process and their learning. And that learning is a continual process. Pray that they take the knowledge that they have gained and apply it to their life, because they have gained a lot of knowledge about themselves. Pray that they continue to gain knowledge about themselves. They continue to gain knowledge about their surroundings, that they continue to have insights, that they continue to have aha moments that lead to a more clear mind, because this person has had a lot of interference, mental interference, but like a more clean and beautiful mind that allows for them to come into their own. And with this love at first sight and proud spirit, pray that they fall in love with themselves. Pray that they fall in love with the real version of themselves that was stifled by this Queen of Swords in reverse. Pray that they, as they are learning this new version of themselves that they're transforming into, that they fall in love with themselves. Because if you can't love yourself, then you can't love anybody. That there's no true words that are spoken. So help them to fall in love with themselves, with every new version of themselves that they uncover, every little aspects of themselves that they decide to show the world. Have them fall in love with themselves in a real way so that the world around them can love them. Help them to be proud of themselves and proud of the person who they're becoming. Pray for this person. And understand that they, even if they were narcissists, were not created in a vacuum. This was not something that they chose for themselves, but it's something that happened, but that people are capable of change. And it seems like this person is changing, that they see the truth in who they are and they're willing to put in the work. So just pray for them. Anyhow, this is the message that I have for you today. I'm so grateful that you are here. Like, I just so appreciate you being here and joining along for the ride. Please never forget just how divine you are.